Welcome to the Waldorf GridIron Club Podcast, your home for all things football at Waldorf University, the best small college football experience in America. Hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson, from the secret gridiron bunker beneath Volsdorf Field. Now, let's meet the captains of today's podcast.
Welcome to the Waldorf GridIron Podcast, big ol' episode number 15. Can't hardly believe we've done this 15 times in a row, Troy. What is wrong with people?
Well, I don't know if anybody's listening or not, but actually I do know if people are listening.
Yeah, I know. You got all the stats.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
We still got that dude from the Russian Federation.
You know, I don't think that Vladimir is listening anymore. I think he discovered that we are actually about Waldorf University football, the best small college football experience in America. And he we'll see. Maybe he'll come back.
Groovy. Well, we got a couple of great guests as always. We have a newbie. And when I say newbie, Coach Mike Gould, he is the newest in the stable of Waldorf coaches. He is coaching the defensive line. What is it, 6 days in Forest City, Mike?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts so far?
Thoughts of Waldorf.
Waldorf, Forest City, the North Iowa area, God's country.
It is God's country. I was born and raised in Iowa, so about time to get back to coaching my own roots. So I'm very happy to be back in my own home state.
Coach, you grew up around the Iowa City area, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, did you live in Iowa City?
I lived right in Iowa City.
Okay, but you went to school
10 miles out.
West Branch High School.
Yes, sir.
Okay. West Branch Bears. You had a so-so high school career. I mean, senior year only first team All-State. Who hasn't done that?
Right. Pretty average.
Yep, exactly. And then junior year, third team All-State.
Oh.
I mean, come on.
Skipped right over second team All-State, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty good there, playing leapfrog.
So what was it? So how big a school did you go to?
We were 1A, so small school. I graduated with probably 100 people in my class.
Well, so did we. So how did that go from, did you open and roll from the Iowa City School District over into West Branch?
Yes. So straight off the bat in high school, like 9th grade, I went to City High for a week.
Oh, yeah.
You're a little hawk.
And then my mother didn't like City High, and she said I need to go to West Branch. So we open rolled West Branch. They took me in open arms. And
so most of your friends are, through middle school and elementary, or Iowa City kids, and then you go out to the cornfield and
tractor days and drive your own tractor to school.
Nice.
And all
Did
that.
you have a tractor?
No. No, I did not. I'm a city boy.
You were a City High kid. My two older boys were City High kids before they moved up here. So we have a little hot connection there for a hot minute. The oldest boy loved it. You know, he thought he played with Ferentz's kid because that's where Kirk Ferentz's kid went.
Which one?
I don't know. The youngest one, probably.
The one that can't. Never mind.
Isn't he a coach?
Aren't they all?
Probably.
Yeah. At some point.
Right now, all of the people that have Hawkeye license plates that listen to this are screaming at it, going like naming the names and telling us exactly what we don't know.
Brian's the OC and the quarterback coach. We'll see how that goes. So, Hawk fan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You don't have to call me sir.
Uh-oh.
That's
respect.
I appreciate that.
Well, and I'm considerably older than everybody in the room, probably combined.
You're not that old. I mean, if you combine all of our ages.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys would be retired long ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, obviously, being first team All-State, you got to play in the Shrine Bowl in 2014. Now, Troy's boys both played in the Shrine Bowl.
Yeah, that's a fun event.
Yeah. So, what years were they in?
So,
Let's put him on the spot.
great. 2013 and 2015.
Okay. So,
You played in 14, right in the middle there. And they just had the Shrine Bowl. This will be this past weekend when people hear this. So I think the Shrine Bowl was
you.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so read some articles on Coach Gould. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I didn't want to say like it's Gould.
Yeah.
So right out of high school, you went to Iowa Western, powerhouse community college over in Western Iowa.
Yeah. I don't,
What sounds
where is Iowa Western?
Council Bluffs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. The bluffs, like defend the bluffs and all that.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. So then after that, Iowa Central.
Well, Iowa Western, we learned last week that is that program, according to Zarin, that's where that started because of Nyack quit their team and then Nyack's coach went out there.
Yep.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird. But yeah, I mean, they've done some great things. So then you were a Triton, number 52 for them. After your stint in JUCO here in the state of Iowa, you played at Upper Iowa University. I think we've talked about that, Troy.
Yeah, we have. Too much, probably.
So you were linebacker for the Peacocks, and then you were a student assistant. You majored in exercise sports studies.
Yes, sir.
And you wore number 55.
Mm-hmm.
There's another guy in the room that we're going to talk to here in a minute that wore 55 back in high school.
All right. Wow.
It's amazing what I know, isn't it, Stu?
It is.
How about
Yeah,
that?
that was a voice of graduate assistant Kyle Stewart. We're going to talk to him more once we kind of go through Coach Gould's his pedigree. So then after UIU, Ellsworth Community College, the Panthers, you were a linebackers coach there.
Yep.
Tell me where I'm wrong. And then you were a graduate assistant at Quincy University. They were the Hawks. You were an assistant strength and conditioning coach and the linebackers coach.
Yes, sir.
I'm doing good. Usually,
You're doing great.
Usually, I blow this like a math test.
Quincy, Illinois. Is that right?
Yes.
Where it was? Okay.
It's in Illinois.
Mhm.
So you're kind of around the area. All right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not too far away from Iowa City then in that direction.
No, it was about 2.5 hours.
Still pretty far, though. Yeah. I just thought it was closer than that for some reason. Okay. Sorry.
Okay, and then he finished up his college with the Leathernecks of Western Illinois University, and you were there like what, a week ago?
Yes, sir. Literally a week ago.
Well, and by the time you listen to this, it's been like 13 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So Western Illinois, a buddy of mine played defensive back there back in the day. Now, the brand new defensive line coach at Waldorf University. We're absolutely thrilled to have you. We're recording this on the day that we had the prospect camp. And one of the things that Coach Finley and a few of the other coaches we've talked about is intensity. It's like, we need somebody with intensity. I don't know if you had to audition, but you were on it all day, Coach. It was fun. What's your philosophy on how do you interact with these kids?
I just believe in energy on the football field. A lot of these kids, they go through drills and just go through the motions, and sometimes they need a coach that has that energy and intensity, and it's all out of love and all out of good. Never negative, but I don't know. When you touch that football field, it's a different thing, and there's Coach Gould in the classroom, the meeting room, but then once it's on the football field, I have to flip a switch, and it's a beautiful thing. I don't know where I get it, but I've been doing it for the last 4 years, and I just love the game of football.
Well, and just meeting you, I think I walked by your office last week or something like that, and like, hey, here's somebody new, and went in and introduced myself, and I'm just going to blow a little smoke up his skirt. But one of the things that I was really impressed with today is that these are high school kids, all age classes, all talent classes, and you were making connections with these kids right away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was extremely impressive. Just the way he was interacting with them and talking to them. That's going to make a huge difference here at the university. I'm super excited about that. So, Coach, welcome to Waldorf University.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. How did that? I mean, what inspired the change? I mean, you say you were somewhere else a week ago or a couple weeks ago, and now you're here.
What inspired it is obviously getting the blessing to work for Waldorf and being back in my home state. Yeah, I've been out of the state of Iowa for the last 3 years, so it's good to be back home. And what the inspiration is coming back to Waldorf. I knew Coach Finley for 2 years now, 3 years now, and I'm just glad I could have the opportunity to be here and the opportunity to talk to you guys.
Thank goodness you got out of the state of Illinois, because who in their right mind would ever want to go to Illinois?
I don't know.
Right, Coach Stewart?
That's correct, man.
All right, talk in the microphone, Stewart.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
get that microphone
Yeah,
in your face there.
exactly. Pretend it's an ice cream cone.
There you go.
All right, so graduate assistant Coach Kyle Stewart, known to everybody around the program as Coach Stu. He's a second-year assistant linebackers coach for the university. He's from Monmouth, Illinois, and, I mean, little-known fact, back in the day, they called him the Mammoth from Monmouth.
Is that right?
Is that right?
Did that really happen?
That's actually false.
Okay. Well,
Well, see,
my fact checks happen quicker.
My
around here.
research is
Man.
poor. So he went to United High School, the Red Storm.
Yeah.
What were they before they had to change their name to the Red Storm?
So it was actually 3 schools consolidating to one. The high school actually was Warren High School. There were the Warriors, where my dad went to high school. And then the other 2 schools that consolidated were Yorkwood High School, which is out in Little York in Kirkwood. And then the other was Alexis High School, which is in Alexis, Illinois.
So where is Monmouth?
It's actually about 20-minute drive north, I believe, from Macomb, where WIU is.
Well, there you go. So you guys were darn near neighbors for a while.
Okay.
Did you know each other previous to this?
Nope.
Now you do know each other.
Yeah.
You're getting to know each other pretty good.
I would say so.
Yeah. You guys like sharing a room or anything like that, or
No.
no? You're not at that point.
We're not at that point.
No,
Not to
not
that
yet,
point yet.
not
No, wait a
Okay.
minute.
Give it time.
Coach Gould, who do you share an office with?
Yeah.
I'm by myself.
So the GA office is still the big one?
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
And so Coach Gould, of course, new guy.
Yeah.
Coach Henry left, and good luck for whatever he's doing. Now I think he's going Doane University is where he's going to be the defensive coordinator. And so then it's the switching of offices. That's always kind of fun. Like, well, because Coach had been there a long time, so he just through attrition got the better office. So Coach Chapa was in a closet.
Yep.
Now Coach Gould.
I'm in the closet.
You're in the closet. And so that makes no sense. And so our DL coach is going to be like, hey, guys, come on into my office. And you can fit like 4 of them in there. Stu, you were a student assistant at Culver Stockton, the Wildcats. Where is Culver Stockton?
That's actually in Canton, Missouri, about 20 minutes from Quincy, Illinois, right across the river.
This is crazy.
Whoa.
I just want to say he went to high school 20 minutes away from WIU.
Yep.
And then he went to college 20 minutes away from Quincy. I think this guy's following me.
Mm-hmm.
Or are you following him? He's been here 2 years.
Yeah. No,
I don't know,
what's
man.
going on here?
This is getting creepy.
It is the serpentine-like universe of college coaching. Wow.
So Culver Stockton, tell me how you got into football there, Stu.
So I originally got a phone call from their DC at the time. He wanted to recruit me to play there. Well, I'd blown out my ACL for the second time in 3 years, my senior year. So I was done. I really didn't have a plan at the time what I was going to do next. I just know I wanted to coach. I just didn't know how to get my foot in the door. Well, that phone call, I pretty much told him, hey, hurt my knee. I'm done. I want to coach. And it kind of like snowballed from there.
So did they give you like a scholarship or anything to student coach?
I was on scholarship. It was a small football scholarship, but I was still on scholarship.
$300.
Yeah, well, maybe a little better.
Let's hope.
That's good, though. All right.
So you're down there at Culver Stockton, the Wildcats. You were a sports management major. And then how did you end up at Waldorf?
Yeah.
So I've had a number of the players ask me this in the past. And so what actually happened, there's actually supposed to be another GA that originally had my job. Well, he ended up backing out of that job literally weeks before camp.
Did he go to Doane?
I'm not sure what he did.
Maybe Quincy, Western Illinois, Upper Iowa.
Well, anyway, he's not here.
Yeah, he's not here.
Okay.
So Adam Sawicki, who's the DC at Waldorf, him and Coach Finley are really good friends. Coach Finley reached out to him, and Coach Sawicki brought my name up, and that's kind of how it went. I remember I was getting off work. I got a call from Coach Sawicki about the whole thing, and then later that night after I got home, I got a call from Coach Finley. And literally by 2-3 days after that, I had the job and quit my job on 1 day's notice to find an apartment and move up here.
1 day notice.
Yeah.
You're that guy.
Well, hey, you got to go.
Yeah, that's true.
The life of it's like a tumbleweed.
Always
got to
rolling.
keep on rolling. Yeah.
So, Coach Gould, what was that turnaround like for you? I mean, from the time that you get, it was a pretty quick turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. I mean, when Coach Henry a couple weeks ago told me, "Hey, dude, I'm leaving,"
Yeah.
and then it seemed like about 6 hours later, I'm like, Finley, what are we gonna do? Got a guy.
Yeah. He's like,
What was that
Yeah,
process like for you, Coach?
It was crazy because so I'm thinking I'm gonna stay at Western Illinois, see what we can do here, wait till after the season, and then all of a sudden people are calling me about this job, and then I really wanted to get back to Iowa. So that day Coach Finley calls me and he said, "Hey, are you interested in being a D-line coach?" I go, "Yes, sir. I mean, what you got? I don't want to be student assistant. I don't want to be any GA or nothing. Already have a master's, work towards a second master's. I don't need to do all that stuff.
Yep.
I just need full time. I need to be a position coach and be able to have a say in everything." He goes, "I got a D-line coach. Let me figure out something." And then literally that next day he calls me. He says, "Hey, this is what's going on. I would love to have a Zoom meeting with you." I go, okay. All right. How fast are you looking to hire? Because I would hate to leave people in the dry when it's such a late in the year.
Yeah,
Like we're
big
talking
time.
July.
Yeah,
Season's starting soon. So he's like, if we find the right guy, I need him right away. How soon could you be up here? I said, I could have my car packed in an hour. And he goes, okay. And then
Tumbleweeds.
at the Zoom meeting, and he goes, I'll call you in 3 hours, 4 hours. I'm nervous. I'm like, he's not. I'm going to end up back in Western Illinois. My car's already packed. I'm like, what are we going to do?
Positive thinking right there. Like, I'm going to go ahead and pack this now.
And he calls me, he goes, you got the job if you want to take it. How soon can you be up here? I go, car's packed. Give me a couple days. Let me stop and say, hey, Mom, I'm going here. And I'll be up there. And he goes, all right. So then boots the ground. Then
boom. 126, and here he is in Forest City, Iowa, and we're absolutely thrilled to have him here.
Lots of businesses. I mean, that's the name of the game, and the name's football. But a lot of times we forget that in football, the head coach has got a lot of responsibilities. But one of them is to have it's not just about being maybe a few deep on your roster, but you also probably have to have somebody a few deep maybe on your coaching roster too. And that's not a negative thing. It's just one of the realities of college coaching that I don't know if all of the kids, did you realize that when the person that recruited you to go to your first program after high school, either one of you, was that person still there when you left? Okay.
When I went to our Western, yes, they were still there. What really happened was when I saw the effect of coaches leaving was when I was at Upper Iowa, and the linebacker coach that recruited me was Coach Hoskins.
Yep.
He ends up leaving.
Yeah.
And then Coach Al came in to be the linebackers coach, and then that's when I started figuring out, okay, there's coaches changes. Because I never seen that as a high school kid.
Yeah, right. You don't
know that.
Yeah.
But in reality, coaches do that on a daily basis of how can I support my family, am I happy here, and all that stuff. So that's where I actually saw it actually happen, is Upper Iowa University. And now I'm the guy that been so many places. I want Waldorf to be the longevity.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want you here for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's value. I mean, there's tremendous value to that too. I think that there's value to moving around. I mean, the reality is
Sure.
that you learn a lot every time you go to a different program. You learn different techniques and coaching and recruiting and programs, and you hopefully get better.
Yes.
But there's obviously a huge advantage to being a part of a family and a program and being a part of that built success and so on and so forth. So obviously, if you do that really well, then a lot of times we part ways, not because of anything, actually because of something you did. You did such a good job that you end up going and coaching somewhere else, and that is it's part of the business. So it's interesting turn in the conversation and I'm not going to dwell on it much longer. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're part of the program, and it's exciting that we've got some new attention. But Andy just like throws that in there. You are way more close to the program than I am, and so when I hear it's like, yeah, and
a little bit.
Henry's gone, and I'm like, back up just a couple of steps there.
Stop the bus.
So okay,
Back her
well,
up.
good. Now here we are. Now we're on to the next greatest thing.
Yeah, so for both you guys, being at Culver Stockton, being at Western Illinois, had you ever heard of Waldorf University and the football program here?
Yes, I have. When I left Iowa Central, I actually took a visit here. And
Who was the coach then?
Probably Kent
Anderson?
Was it? Well, no, because you said you graduated in 14, so 2 years, so 16, Kent Anderson.
Yeah, Kent Anderson.
Because Literal wasn't here yet.
So I walked around the campus, and I saw the school, I saw the academic building, and then I was weighing 230 pounds. I was looking good, and I look bad right now, but I was walking through it, and I was falling through.
Audio only, so no one can, they'll take your word for it.
Well, I'm glad he said something. I was going to bring that up later. Like, how come you look so bad, Coach?
I knew he was going to pick me apart, but I was walking around campus, and like the school, and theirs has been a lot since I got here. There's been a lot have changed. But on my visit, I thought it was the worst visit ever. There's no way I would go here. That's when I end up at Upper Iowa. And then I just did a full circle. Now I'm back here. And I've seen so much changes have happened. But that was my experience. I thought this place was just an average school and didn't take care of itself. And now it's completely different. So,
the program didn't match the facilities.
No.
So now it's still kind of the same thing, but maybe a little upside down. I feel like our program could justify a pretty darn nice press box and
Just upgrades all the way around.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll work on that.
So, Stu, tell me about your experience with before getting the call. You ever heard of Waldorf before?
No, I didn't know what Waldorf was until Coach Sawicki called me about it and told me who Coach Finley was.
Huh.
So,
I thought we were at least Midwestern, like everybody, well, you should really go to Waldorf.
How many times, Andy, do you think? Well, how many times when you're telling somebody that's not from around here that you went to Waldorf, and they confuse that with Wartburg?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because it's got a W in it, you know, and it's smells Lutheran.
That's true.
So it probably is Wartburg.
no, I could tell you it is getting better. Like, when I was first getting recruited here, this place was just an average football team. They're losing all this. But now, since
I wouldn't say average.
Coach Finley was on, Coach Finley's been here, and the record's been going up. Like, there's still, when I was at Western Illinois, there's still kids know about Waldorf. Before, they were like, where's Waldorf? So what you guys did before I got here, you guys are doing something special, and I'm glad to be a part of it. But I think the name is now, it's getting out there, but we still got to keep that train rolling.
Right.
We can't take a step back.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and you like today, you just finished an individual camp at the school a week or so ago. It was the team camp, and I'll tell you that just the turnout from the team camp is indicative of what you're talking about. Iowa, if you're playing at Iowa Wesleyan, a 2-year school out in Council Bluffs, and you're talking to all those kids from Iowa that are out there, and people know about Western. Yeah, not Wesleyan.
Wesleyan's down in Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
It's the NSAA.
We play them this year.
Yeah, they're NSAA powerhouse, Iowa Wesleyan.
You're so funny. So Iowa Western, and they've heard about it. It's because maybe they went to a team camp there, or and that is something that, boy, so those high school programs didn't necessarily want. They don't want to come to a team program. Like, they don't want to go to a team camp if that team's not doing very well.
100%.
And it's coaches looking at a program going, sometimes it's about proximity and where they're going and all that stuff, but it has a lot to do with like, well, what do my kids have to learn if the program is, 1-10 or 2-9 or whatever it happens to be versus 8-3 or better.
Yes.
Right. So, Stu, you've been here a couple of years now. What's your experience been like here at the Woo?
it's been a great experience for me personally. It's a really good town. I love the people, the community, and just the opportunity to learn from Coach Finley, Coach Chop, the rest of the staff. It's been it's been a real blessing. I knew towards the end of my career at Culver, it was time to move on. I just wasn't sure where. And, looking back at this past year, I feel like this is the best place I could have possibly ended up because of how much they emphasize the development of coaches. It's not just, hey, here's this office, do all this for me. You're actually getting developed as a coach. You're teaching, you're getting taught, and you're learning, how to coach and how to make that impact on these guys.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what are you, what did you, and I didn't say this before, like what are you getting your master's in then?
So this one's organizational leadership with an emphasis on sports management. And I'm actually working on an MBA from Culver that I actually started my senior year.
Okay.
So 2 master's degrees.
Yep.
Who doesn't have that? Besides,
I don't have I have a maced.
I have 1.5.
Yeah, I have a maced. I took graduate studies from Norwich University in military history. So I have a military.
Where's
master's
Norwich
in military history.
They have a good football team?
They do. They not. They suck.
Where's they at?
They're out in New Hampshire.
Ooh.
It's a
Southern New Hampshire University.
No,
Oh.
it's a legit school. It's very interesting. It's half cadets and half regular students. So it's kind of a weird, kind of a military place. But anyway, I went to get that. And then I started realizing that the people that were a lot in my coursework, you'd have to have the discussions and everything. And I'm like, you didn't read this. Like, I can tell you didn't read this. And a lot of them are officers. They're overseas. They're wrapping up their master's degree in military history or whatnot. And I'm doing the work. I'm also full-time active duty. And I'm thinking like, well, you didn't, like, I can tell from your argument of points that you didn't read this. And then they're still in the program. And then after a while, I'm like, well, I didn't have, well, maybe I slipped by or something like that. And I'm like, I admit I turn in some work that maybe I didn't think was very good, still get an A. And I'm like, okay, now listen. So at a certain point, I realized also might have had something to do with the fact. So I got through MASTE, right? There's 6 semesters in this program. And I did not finish the R, the last semester, because I also had to write a paper, and I'd been putting that off for quite a while, kind of BSing about it and saying, "Oh yeah, I got it," and I didn't. And I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and withdraw. So really, it could have been just me. It was me, but there you go.
1 semester away.
Yeah, 1 semester left for a military history degree. Which, by the way, when it comes to historians, the rest of the historians, they all believe that the people with a military history background are the ones that write their papers in crayon. So it's not like I had a tremendous amount of respect brewing for the military history.
Well, then you eat the crayons when you're done.
Yeah, of course they're delicious. Yeah, heat them up first on a radiator, and see what colors they blend together and make. Yep.
So Stu, what do you, as a GA, obviously during the season, you've experienced it. Extremely busy.
Yeah.
It's all the time. What do you do in your downtime?
So during the season, during my downtime, which is usually at night after practice and after I'm done with film, that's usually when I'm working on my graduate work. Just balancing out GA life and 2 masters. It's very difficult to do, but the reason why I put myself in this position is just because it's going to benefit me later on. And I just think that having all this now, whether coaching works out or not, which I definitely hope it does, something to fall back on. Just basically preparing myself. And it does get stressful, but it's about pushing through. Right now, I'm going through those hard, stressful years when I have all this to worry about. I think once it's out of the way, things are going to get better. And right now, I'm just I'm just looking forward to the season and going out there and having a good year with the guys and hopefully giving these guys a great memory, especially the seniors. We got a pretty big senior class.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So married, kids.
Nah, I live by myself.
So you heard it here first on the Waldorf GridIron Podcast.
Yeah.
Ladies, if you're looking for quality.
That's right.
Now, Waldorf football coach, Beefcake.
Yeah. More time, right now, no big deal. Just burrowing down on 2 master's degrees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're looking for money, that's not your guy because he's a GA. But I'll tell you what, it's like, Stu, I will tell you this.
Yeah.
I got a soft spot for Stu.
Oh, do ya?
He is a quality individual as a human being.
Yeah.
Love
Seems
this
like
guy.
it.
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful to get to know him the last couple of years. And he's you get beat up a little bit by the other coaches. They're pretty tough on you.
Yeah, I mean, but that's just the nature of the beast. I look at it as, when I make a mistake, it's a learning opportunity, an opportunity for me to be better, as time goes on. So I mean, I don't think of it as much. I just look at it as I just need to get better, and so I stop making those same mistakes. It's all part of the teaching process.
It's about being a guy, Stu.
Mhm.
Right.
They love you. We love you.
I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love being here too.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I love the guys that we have here right now, and the way I look at it, just because of how spring ball went, this is a time in my career I'm going to look back on. Like, man, I miss working with this staff.
Yeah.
Like, we just the type of people we have here. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever find that, regardless of where I go.
You played football in college, and then is this a way to keep that going? But I mean, what is it? What does it inspire you to be a coach? Is it because you love the game so much, or you love coaching?
I've always said once I'm done playing, I wanted to get into coaching. That's been like want to since I was a little kid.
Okay.
So I guess that love and that passion has always been there ever since I was old enough to know what I actually wanted to do, and it turns out all I wanted to do was coach my whole life.
Okay.
I wish I knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I'm only 52.
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
Yeah.
No, I love coaching because I'm a big guy of building relationships, and I want to help. I had good college coaches, I had bad college coaches, and I want to be that guy to help these young athletes go through life. And I know school wasn't for me, but I can still sit at this table and say I have a bachelor's, a master's, and working on second master's or whatever. But I just want to make a difference in someone's life, and if that's college coaching. I mean, it's building relationships, and obviously I love the X's and O's, and I'm the opposite of Stu. When I was playing, I never wanted to be a coach.
Oh, okay.
Especially if I had to coach kids just like me, definitely not.
Why do you say that?
Hard-headed. They think not Mr. Know-It-All, but think it's Mr. Know-It-All. Thinks it's his way or no way. So that was my first experience. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna coach these kids because myself. But then I started building that relationship, started loving the game more and more every day. Yes, can I not? I mean, I got one series in me. I could still go play a little bit, maybe. But it's all about those kids. And if they get their degrees, they set them up for life and all of that. So it's all about them. But
so, what is you said you had good coaches, obviously, and you said you had some bad coaches. So, without naming names, unless you really want to, I don't doubt they're listening. But without naming names, what's a bad coach?
A bad coach is that they don't care about you. They don't care about getting to know you. They just want to yell, cuss at you, and just not want to coach you. Like, they just leave you alone. They're not putting effort into it. They hate recruiting. They hate building the relationships. A good coach would be the opposite. It's all about the player. It's never about the coach. No one cares about the X's and O's that you put on the board. It's all about, how can I know that athlete? How do I get to know him? And how can we run through this brick wall together? Not how can you?
So what's in it for either one of those characters then? What's in it for the good coach and what's in it for the bad coach what do you think the motivators are?
Bad, man, that's a good question.
Well, he's almost got a master's degree.
Yeah, it's amazed.
One master's, working towards second. But
I was talking about
I was talking about me.
Yeah, he's
you've got one completed.
got a
Congratulations. There's no paper on my wall that says master.
yeah, I mean,
Well, there's master sergeant. I was that before I was a first sergeant.
that's a tough question to answer because because every coach is different. What they're in, for me, what's in for me is, first thing I want is to coach a kid and build that longevity relationship. It doesn't matter what they do on the football field, is what matters they do throughout their lifetime. And I want them to call me 10 years later and be like, hey, coach, I'm having a kid or I'm getting married. How do I navigate this? And I'm going to be like, well, I guess, I don't have any kids or
Yeah, but maybe 10 years down the road, you know.
I don't know, but I want to have those relationships, and that's just a personal me. And then I want to be the greatest coach that ever, college coach that ever lived. So that vendetta.
Yeah, if you're going to do it, might as well just go ahead and do it.
100%.
Yeah,
All
all in.
Well, the big thing for me is that knowing that we were getting quality in our new DL coach was when I was talking to Coach Finley, when we hired a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who? Mike Gould. He's from Western Illinois right now, is where he's coaching. And then all he had to say to me was that DQ talked to him, signed off.
Oh, yeah. Well,
So
there you go.
That, I mean,
You got the endorsement from DQ.
Wow.
a long Zoom meeting with DQ.
Was it really?
It was.
So the most senior guy, the guy that they run to the opposite side of the ball,
Yeah,
because
team leader.
He's gonna find you if you come his way, and he has also got a very sonorous voice. Like, you know, he's serious when he.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk much. Though.
No.
So on the Zoom, it's awkward. I'm like, first of all, my Zoom meeting, I had to sit in Panera. So there's music in the background,
So
there's coffee. I'm like, I don't know where to go.
And DQ's
DQ's
just
sitting
silently
there.
judging you.
I'm like, hello, DQ, this is me, boom, boom, boom. But once we hit a nerve, we had a connection, was Iowa Central. He played there.
Yes.
So did I. So I was like, oh, did you live in this dorm or this? And that's when he's like, oh, yeah. He started talking more. And then that's when I was like, okay, now we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
We built that relationship.
DQ in the locker room and DQ almost anywhere else is two different human beings.
Is that right?
Oh my gosh, he's chatty Cathy in the locker room always. So, Coach Gould, you've been here a grand total of 6 days. By the time this airs, it will be 13.
I think to answer your question, I think I made the right decision. Come back home, coaching for Waldorf. But what my thoughts is for Waldorf University, there's a great community behind the football team, and that's what I want.
You're correct.
I want people to come here, and I want people to be excited about the football team, and then a great coaching staff that's all together. Some head coaches preach family, but they never hang out with each other. And I'm living right now with Coach Finley, the head coach, right now in his house, hanging out with his family, and that's a family bond I want to be a part of.
Yeah.
So with a great community and a great coaching staff, oh, most definitely I picked the right spot to be at.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Stu has had the opportunity to kind of experience a little bit of this, but that's one of the things that at Waldorf University we have. We kind of keep it in our back pocket, but the reality is that Kyle Stewart, Mike Gould, Will Finley, DeQuan McCobb, you name somebody on that roster, somebody on that staff, and they're a member of our community. And the thing is, we're going to more than embrace you. And we're going to do anything that we can to make your experience here, whether it's 2 years as a GA, 10 years as a coach, head coach, whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's like, we just want you to have the absolute best experience you've ever had, because we hear that time and time again, from the players, from coaches that have a little bit of time here, about that's what makes Waldorf different, is the fact that you're going to get here and we're going to treat you like family. You're going to become part of this community. If you're a player, you're our kids. You're part of us. Stu, what's been your experience with the city of Forest City?
I like it here. The community's been great. It's a really nice place to live. I've always lived in small towns my whole life, so coming here wasn't really much of a shell shock.
Mm-hmm.
But just going back to what you were saying, that family feel, not just in the program, but also the community, that was something coming from Culver. That's something I didn't personally ever feel. A lot of it was just, hey, we'll toss the players a bunch of gear, and that's that. I mean, there wasn't an emphasis on building that relationship like there is here, and that's something that I disagreed with over time, and just felt the need that when the time came, I had to get out.
Would you say there was a good following from the fans at
Not compared to what it is here.
Okay.
I mean, something like the little things like the tailgate that we have every game. They didn't really have anything like that. And on top of that, I saw a tweet from last year. It was for their homecoming. And the tweet was like, imagine playing in front of this every weekend. Well, it's not even half packed
Okay.
on any other game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I mean, you come here every home game. It's the same thing, same environment.
Yeah.
Like it's consistent that way. But it was just coming here. It was just a fresh start, and just coming and just like the environment that Coach Finley has built. It was just a big shell shock and took time for me to adjust like that, especially with how organized it was. I was when I came here, I was used to things changing on the fly and having to adjust like that. It was great to just come to like a stable structure.
Okay, that's great insight. I haven't heard that before, which is what makes complete sense, knowing the coaches and everything, but and particularly like Mrs. Finley, the things are organized and put together. It seems like that's the case when you walk up there to the coaches' suites. Things are pretty well squared away and stuff like that, and you can see the difference on the field the last few years. So that's pretty good.
I think we would be remiss if we didn't mention Callie Finley on this episode, only because before the episode started, we were all congregating in the galley of the
The galley
of the secret underground bunker.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we were all sitting around, just kind of saying hi, and Coach Finley, his code to get into the bunker is it's always good. We cancel everybody else's, but Coach Finley. So he brought his wife and Lincoln, their son, in to give Troy and I a gift.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That was huge. Troy, you want to tell everybody what it is?
Well, we they picked up a couple of T-shirts for us from the hometown festival in Atchison, Kansas, and of course the longtime listeners. Well, you only have to listen for a few episodes, but for those who know, that
both of them,
that is that's the Amelia Earhart Festival, and we talked about that on their episode, and now Andy and I have T-shirts that we can sport and wear, and we'll even take a picture, and we'll figure out a way. We'll just post it on our social media. So because I'm sure that folks want to see us in our dad bods rocking these T-shirts from the Amelia Earhart Atchison, Kansas Festival, established 1997.
Yeah, that's off-putting.
Doesn't seem that long ago, really.
Well, I mean, when did Amelia go missing? Back
Long
in the
ago.
30s?
Yeah, I feel like
So
it was
took them
in
like
the 30s.
65 years later. Like, we should do something.
Yeah, well, they were waiting. They were just she might show up.
That's true.
I feel like it's been long enough. Let's go ahead and roll that festival out of here. Because what were they doing before?
Yeah, who knows? A baked bean festival or something.
There you go. But we have T-shirts, and
can't wait to wear it.
We'll model them and show them off.
So, Coach Gould, I asked Stu what he did to let his hair down. What's your thing? What do you do?
I like to fish, hunt.
He's our guy.
He likes to fish, yeah.
Hang out. What I really love to do is hang out with like other coaches' families because I'm so far away from my family, but that's what brings me happiness, and I just love that family atmosphere. But if I had to say, I'll go fishing, I'll go hunt. It don't matter. I'm the typical Iowa boy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like to fish for, Coach?
Yeah, go ahead and say.
This is a thing for us.
Now I do like going after catfishing.
Oh, that's nice.
Bass once in a while, but other than that,
those
Crappies.
it don't matter.
Crappies are good.
Have you ever caught a walleye?
I have not.
Hey, all right.
There he is.
Okay,
How about you,
finally.
Stu? You ever caught a walleye?
I've not.
All right. See, this is the non-walleye catching group.
So Troy,
You're in the minority, finally.
being a guy around North Central Iowa.
Yeah.
I mean, we have all sorts of walleye lakes around here.
Yeah.
And
Do we though?
yeah, we do. Trust me.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well, the last time I went to Clear Lake, I caught 4.
I mean, all right. Yeah.
How many have you caught?
None, 0 at Clear Lake. Yeah, none. I've caught a walleye. Yeah.
Now, when he says he's caught a walleye,
I mean,
he means he has
singular.
caught a
Yeah.
walleye.
Yeah, up in
Once.
Bemidji.
Oh, well, there's
Actually,
hardly any
It
walleyes
was
in
on
northern
a weekend
Minnesota.
where the Peacocks were playing Bemidji, and we got a cabin up there, and so we went and that's when I caught it. And I had to release him because pretty small walleye.
Stu, you do any hunting or fishing?
I do not. So the way I grew up, my dad was a truck driver turned railroader, and he always talked about go out and doing these things, and just the life of a railroader is really difficult and challenging. You don't have a lot of free time to do anything, and it's just something we never was able to do growing up.
Is that true? I mean, he said that. I assume it's true. I don't know any railroaders.
Yeah, it's a schedule. I would never want my dad's schedule personally.
Hard worker though, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Was he
absolutely.
a driver of the train?
Yeah, he does.
Isn't that a
He does drive the
conductor?
train.
No.
That's a engineer.
Yeah.
Oh.
engineer.
Yeah.
So
he's an
I just
engineer.
feel like if you're in a truck, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And you're driving, and you're in, But if you're on a track, I mean, I don't want to minimize the engineer, but I mean, it's on a track. Like if you let go of there's not a wheel, probably like little sticks or something like that. I don't know how I've only seen movies.
All computer controlled.
Yeah. So what's he really doing?
Come on, Stu.
Come on.
No, he legit. He operates the train.
Yeah.
That's what he does, and
He flips the switch.
he works for the BNSF, and he's got all these rules he's got to follow as he's operating the train, and he's been doing it for over 2 decades.
It's a cool job.
Yeah.
I have to say,
it sounds like a good job once you actually get in or have
Yeah.
a loved one that experiences this. Yeah, the pay sounds really good,
Yeah.
and it is, but it's just like the fact that it's the job. It takes up so much time that you have. Like, I'm at this stage of my life, and I easily go 2-3 months without even hearing from my dad.
okay.
How much he has to work.
So-
On top of that, with unemployment being so low, with BNSF,
Yeah.
it calls for him to work. Even
Oh, even more. Yeah. Is that maybe we get a chance to ask him sometime? Like, do they purposely park on roads while they're and then because it seems like it. You know what I mean? If you ever get caught by
Yeah,
a train,
absolutely.
It's like they're just like, well, I'll just go ahead and do it.
Let's
I
stop
do
here.
know that they do change. Like if it's crew change time, it's crew change time, and it doesn't matter where they're at. Like if they're in the middle of a field, there's a truck or a van that's meeting them, and they swap out crews. That's what I've been told anyway. But it seems like it always
idea.
happens to me, like in the road right in front of me.
Burlington, Northern Santa Fe.
It's cool,
BNSF.
and it's a pretty efficient way to move stuff around the country.
It really
I have to
is.
say that. Yeah.
All right. So since we're talking about family,
Yeah.
Coach, tell me a little bit about your. We're gonna look deep inside. All right. What do you got?
I have not married, don't have any kids, but I have
Yet.
2 brothers and 2 sisters. I have an older sister. She's a year older than me. And then I got a younger sister. She's about 24. And then my younger brother's 22, and then the youngest brother is 19, 18.
So you're number 2
Yep.
of 5.
Yes.
Very nice.
Good. That was my math right there.
Right. So you talked a little bit about your mom. What's your mom's name? What does she do?
She's her name is Melanie Gould. She works as an accountant. So she got all the brains in the family.
Well, that's easy.
Crunching numbers.
Okay.
I can't do the life she does, but she also can't draw X's and O's.
There you go.
So.
Well, that's true.
But she does that. She's been doing that for many years. But yeah.
How critical was your family in being able to do what you do now?
Very important to me. Like I said, I don't see them much, but they have made my life easier by being around, being supportive. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to come back here, because my mother or my family hasn't seen me coach for the last 3 years because they didn't want to go to Illinois and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
Who would want to go to Illinois?
exactly. So now she gets the opportunity. She loved it when I was coaching linebackers at all the places, but now she knows I coach. She knows football a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
she knows that. Get to coach the D lineman. We're in the trenches, and we're gonna make a lot of plays. So
Ooh. It's going to be fun, and that's one of the things I love here. So there's a couple things I need to tell you, Coach Gould. Number one is that we look forward to meeting your family. If we have a 1:00 game, they need to be here about 10 a.m. Okay, so they're going to have to come up. They're going to have to rent a room, and we're going to take darn good care of them because your family is now our family.
There you go.
We're going to take as much care. Like if they say, geez, I don't have sheets for my bed. All we got to do is say, Coach Gould needs sheets for his bed. Boom. It's going to happen. And we're looking forward to build that relationship with you. And
Get some slightly used stained sheets to throw on the bed. They won't fit the bed that you've got, but we'll get them. We'll get them for you. And if they're flannel, they spark at night. So that's a special.
I'll be all right on that.
There.
But
You've got a couple of tattoos. I'm sitting right next to him. He's wearing shorts. He's got tattoo on the right. Above the knee, it says loyalty. And what's the one on your left say? My faith. So would you, how'd you tell me about those?
So loyalty, you can ask anyone that works with me. I'm big in loyalty because I built such a great relationship, so it makes it harder to leave places all I've been at.
I mean, but except for the place you like were packed your car and was gone in an hour.
Okay, yeah. But I was there for it. Okay, but I still had to tell the players, like, hey, this is what's going on. It's best for me. But I was still loyal to them.
Yeah, right.
Right. But,
okay.
Yeah,
I like it. I'm with you. Yeah.
Psych.
You got to get you on that.
But then, so I'm big in loyalty. Once I build that relationship, I'll do anything. I'll run through a brick wall for you guys.
Yeah.
Once we build that relationship, that's what, with my players, with my team, everyone, once I have that, then yeah, it's all 100%. Let's go through this together. My faith, that's very important to me. My faith is, I've been through the ups, been through the downs, good and the bad, and that's one thing I can always fall back on. So I'm very important in that. But then I got a bunch of other ones. But
oh, you do? Well, that's
what kind
fantastic.
What kind of numbers are we talking here?
Oh,
Coach?
not that much. I mean, I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just 6 actually.
6 additional. So 8 total.
Yep.
Okay.
I got family first. I got a lion. Got a angel and demon. All that stuff.
Okay. Wow.
And they're all significant to you.
Yeah, they all mean something.
Yeah,
right.
And that's great because I had a buddy in college one night. He may have overindulged in adult
like you do
adult beverages, and he had a neat little cover up. I'm like, hey, what's going on? I got a tattoo last night. What'd you get? Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, okay.
I said, oh, wow, he said, I don't know. I pointed at the thing on the wall, and I got Yosemite Sam on my body forever.
Yeah.
I mean, tattoos are forever. Stu, how many tattoos you got?
Yeah.
I don't have any.
Good.
Hey, I tell you what.
Hey, I don't have any tattoos either.
I've got one.
Okay. No, you got a tattoo though. You guys are like.
Well, I've got an Ichthus on my right shoulder.
A what?
Ichthus. It's the
Like
Jesus
fish?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ, God's Son, Savior.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ichthus. I did that. My
Jesus
mother.
fish is way more relatable though.
But it's called an Ichthus.
I mean,
we talk about this all the time. Let's speak correctly.
okay. Ichthus. Okay.
Ichthus, yeah.
Write that down.
I think it's Aramaic.
I think it's Greek.
Greek-Amaic. So, Stu, we talked a little bit about Coach Gould's family. Why don't you tell me? You talked a little bit about your pops. Tell me about what you got going on. The Mammoth from Monmouth. What do you got?
The Mammoth from Monmouth.
So I have one brother. He's younger than me. He's actually going to be starting college at the University of Iowa this fall.
Okay.
He's a special needs kid. He's going to be in their special needs program. It's we think it's a really good place for him. Something that's going to help benefit him very well. So my mom, so she's worked a couple different jobs. She's been paralegal. She's done accounting. Actually, this last year and a half, been laid off for a little while, and actually just got a new job recently.
Nice.
She got like another accounting gig somewhere back home.
So she's smart.
Well,
Yeah.
Stewart,
Yeah,
why are you pausing on that? Should I edit that out? Or should
You might have.
you gotta leave
I'll
that in
shorten that.
Yeah,
pause for you,
exactly.
buddy.
So she's smart.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll pause. We'll edit that.
I'm sure your mom's a brilliant woman.
Yeah.
And does she come up to games?
So when I was in high school, she never missed a game, but since I started moving away, and maybe like 1 or 2 games a year.
How far a drive is Monmouth?
From here, it's about 5 to 6.
I mean, it's a ways.
It's
she
a
could
6-hour drive from McComb.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
No, I mean, Coach Gould would be like, 6-hour drive easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, knock it out.
Like if you just recently did it.
And then your pops is he's an engineer, not just a train driver. He's an engineer for BNSF.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so your brother's going to be a freshman at the University of Iowa.
Yeah.
Yep. That's great. So are you going to root for the Hawkeyes now? we got to get into that real quick. Are you a, I mean, we know you're a Warrior fan.
No, absolutely.
What's your college team?
I grew up a Buckeyes fan.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit of
Can you shut his mic off?
no. Well, I can, but I'm
Okay.
there's a little bit of like pull on my dad's side because my dad's in his family they've been diehard Illinois fans for a long time, and just when
Wait, Illinois has a college team?
Yeah, they have a couple. Yeah.
I knew of Northwestern, and I know Western Illinois now, but I had no idea that there was another college.
Yeah, big eye. There's a lot of big eyes across the top row of the Midwest.
Yeah.
What's an Illini?
I have no idea.
What is an
Well, they fight.
Yeah,
It's a Native American
Native
tribe.
American tribe.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that insensitive?
Nope.
Kind of like the Hawkeyes. I mean, technically, Chief Blackhawk is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Chief Black.
I thought Hawkeye.
No, it's named after the state of Iowa.
Yes.
But we're
okay.
the Hawkeye state because of.
Chief Blackhawk.
I don't know if that's true.
Oh, well, look it up on
Is
your
that right?
pocket computer there, smart history guy.
Is that right?
Yes, it's right.
I thought
history.
like the Buckeye. That's a nut, which
Yeah.
explains a lot actually about
Yeah, the
Ohio
nuts.
State. Yeah.
So you followed the Buckeyes,
Yeah,
and your family was Illini fans.
for the most part, yeah.
Yeah. How did you just said, well, I don't like you guys, so I'm going to be a Buckeye. Well, they were really good, so I thought I'd follow them.
No, like so when I was little and just started following college football. I mean, really like one of my first earliest memories of watching college football was Ohio State playing Penn State, and they had Troy Smith, and I just remember Troy Smith throwing a 50-yard touchdown pass.
Was that when Jim Tressel was the coach?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that seemed like 3 weeks ago to me.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Woody Hayes guy.
Oh
Yeah, I was a big fan of Troy Smith, and then Ted Ginn was one of my favorite players on the team growing up. I was a big Ted Ginn Jr. fan.
Coach Gould, you're a Hawkeye. I mean, growing up in Iowa City, that's just great. The mecca of Iowa football. So we can determine that. Who'd you follow NFL wise?
I used to be a Raiders fan. Not Raiders fan. That's terrible. Ravens fan. Sorry. I was a Ray Lewis fan.
Ray Lewis
wanted
is
to be the-
great.
Yeah. Who isn't? Except for that one lady person who died.
Yeah. But I wanted to be the greatest linebacker ever played, so I always followed him. But
Sure.
now, since coaching, I really don't have a favorite team.
Right.
I just love. I know this probably sounds cheesy. Whatever, you guys can get over it. But I just love watching football. So I'll watch great defenses play football.
Yeah.
I just watch football. I don't know. I don't know what it is. So I do.
No, I know
really
what you
don't-
mean.
I really don't have a favorite
Yeah.
team.
So you're a Saints fan. Okay.
I'm assuming you're a Vikings fan.
Well, I got a hat.
Stu, Bears.
He's a Green Bay fan. I can see it in his eyes.
No, my brother is, which is
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Now DQ's a huge
yeah. I
Green
give
Bay
I give
fan.
DQ crap every week every time he wears the jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So growing up, interestingly, when I was like a little kid, I was like a big Broncos fan
Oh,
because like Champ Bailey was my favorite player when I was growing up. You know,
That's
Hall of Fame
cool.
corner. He was actually the first ever jersey I bought, or my parents got me. But you know, as time went on, I actually became a huge Ed Reed fan, and you know, I have an Ed Reed jersey as well. And you know,
who did he play for when they won the Super Bowl?
So then after you know, I started liking Ed Reed, and I became a Ravens fan. I've been a Ravens fan ever since.
When Ed Reed played for the New Orleans Saints.
yeah.
Yeah, they won a Super Bowl. Yeah. Remember those days?
Good.
Yeah, I do remember those days.
2009. Tell me they're cheaters, because I'm going to come across this table at
You're
you.
not going to come across that table. They made a whole movie about it. Coach took time off. Got
Oh,
played
yeah.
by the fat guy, Kevin. What's his name?
Kevin James.
Kevin
yeah,
James.
Yeah, I watched that.
Absolutely.
I like that show.
Hey.
I like the movie.
Now, wrong,
Well,
immoral. I mean, and the thing is, here's the deal.
Mhm.
And I
But
can't.
not illegal.
No, it wasn't. There was no cheating. Yeah, it might have been illegal,
wow.
but it's one of those things. There was nothing cheating. It's like we want our defensive guys to hit your offensive guys so hard it takes them out of the game. What they did was institutionalized it and monetized it, which is gross.
Oh.
And it took me probably 3 or 4 years after Bountygate to continue to love my Saints.
Yeah, but you continue. You pulled through though. You kept that.
I did,
relationship
yeah.
together.
But it's
Good job.
one of those things that, you know, everything that they had coming to them, and it was probably pretty light.
Yeah.
They deserved
Yeah.
because you don't want to knock people out. You want to hit them legal. You want to hit them hard.
Yeah.
But you don't want to end somebody's freaking career.
Right.
But it's like some of my Minnesota Vikings friends, they cheated.
Yeah.
They didn't cheat. What they did was not right.
Yeah.
Again, they institutionalized.
That's
and
not why the
monetized
Vikings
it.
didn't win the Super Bowl that year.
Well, they hit Brett Favre. That's the job.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
supposed to knock him on his rear end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I feel like my
he
blood.
thought I was going to go somewhere with that.
Yeah.
He's like, do you remember that? I'm like, yeah, no, I remember that.
Oh yeah, I like to bring it up to my Vikings fan.
Yeah.
And there's anyway. All right, guys. You had some time to think about this podcast, this episode. What's
That's
the
true.
question that you wanted us to ask that we never did?
What made you guys start this podcast? Why have every coach that comes in on the football set? Why'd you guys do this?
You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Number one, Waldorf Warriors to our soul. The marrow of our bones is purple. And I'll tell you what we
We've had
want
it
to
looked
do.
at.
Yeah,
It's not.
exactly. I
Right.
thought it was, turns out it's.
I thought it was gout.
So number one, it's one of those things. It's a way for us to get the message about Waldorf University football out, because what we have here, it's extremely special, and it's hard to bring kids from Texas, Florida, California, Minnesota, Illinois, Illinois even, Stu, other places in Iowa. Once they get here, they understand that this community loves you, loves us, as warriors on the football team. So it's part of getting people to the realization that this place is extremely special, and there's no way to really, really be able to get that word out there and do that. That's number one. Is to get the word out about Waldorf University football. But then it's also about, we're the GridIron Club. We are a 501c3 that is trying to raise money to elevate this football program to where it belongs. We talked about that. The program, the facilities used to match the program, or maybe even the facilities were nicer than what the program represented. In the last 6 or 7 years, or maybe less than that, about 6 years, the program has elevated itself to a level that is exceptional. We have high standards. We put out a quality product. The community, the fans, they come out. But what we want to be able to do is bring these kids in and give them the type of experience, because we say that we are the best small college football experience in America. We want to make sure any kid that wears purple, that wears a Warrior jersey, not only knows that, but feels that. And so, there's limited budgets. And so we're trying to raise money through the 501c3, the Waldorf GridIron Club, P.O. Box 125, Forest City, Iowa, 50436. Dig deep.
Yep.
We're looking to do that so that we
Or-
can give these kids the best experience.
Yeah. Click to support the program on the podcast. You can do it that way too. And we talk about that at the end of the show, every show. Long form conversations are what podcasts are, and the advantage to that is that you have the opportunity to do this and talk to coaches and to players. And when my kids were playing, if they were on a podcast, I'd listen to it over and over again because I want to hear their voice. Because they're away at college. We went to every game, but so I'd want to do that. And I think it's good for parents to hear what their kids are saying, and I know that they miss that. So that was one thing for me. And long form conversation allows you to do it in a way that's a little bit different. Waldorf football's got a lot of cool things going on. One of the things, we had Zarin Eggestal on last week, and KIOW, the local radio station, they do the program at Paddler's Tap. Have the coaches on. That's a different environment. It's a more segmented. It's a commercialized version. It's great, and we love doing that. And that's just during the season, and obviously during a couple of times after that. But the reality is that we wanted to be able to have a conversation with you so that people could know who you were. And then my hope is, and it doesn't always happen this way. I'm hoping that we get there, is that you have the chance to go back and listen. So you see, like, well, I don't really know, that who's that guy on the field, and they're in the program and says, well, it's Mike or it's Kyle or whatever. And like, well, I'm going to go back and look at I wonder if they've done a podcast. Yeah, they have. So maybe they get a chance to get to know you guys better. That is how you build a community. That is how you get people to reach into their wallet and support the program, not only while their kids are here, but long after, hopefully. And so that's how you get things like, new things built and make sure that our kids are taken care of, every year.
Absolutely. Great job. That's fantastic. Stu, Coach Gould had a really good question. You got anything for us?
I think the biggest thing for me is, what's kind of like the origins of the GridIron Club? Like, how did that just become to be? Because like what you guys do is just fantastic for the program, and we can't thank you enough. But I think it'd be awesome just to kind of figure out like how that all started, or learn about that.
Yeah, so I mean, essentially what it was is that it's a group of community members that wanted to elevate the program. When they established the 501c3, which is that allows it to be tax exempt, As
both of your mothers know as accountants.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it was one of those, and essentially what it kind of came down to was that we're kind of doing it, if you'll excuse me, half-assed. So Courtney Woogie, who's the president of the Waldorf GridIron Club, Courtney said, no, he got with an accountant, he got with an attorney and said, let's do this the right way and establish a 501c3 so that we can actually go in and people can give decent dollar amount donations and they can write it off their taxes. So there's win-win. The program wins, and we do a lot of stuff, between equipment for the program, between the bowling night that we had, the GridIron Club sponsors that and allows that to happen so that those kids can go out, do something besides football, get to know each other and have some fun. And we have a laundry list of things that we want to continue to do. So as far as origins, it was really kind of loosely organized. It was an idea from Coach Littrell. Coach Finley has picked it up and really got it a little bit more structure. Through like Troy and I. Troy is the vice president and the secretary. I'm the treasurer of the GridIron Club. Courtney Woogie is the president of the GridIron Club. So we have pretty good structure. We're working continually on trying to make it better, more organized. And the goal in 2023 is to raise $100,000 for the student athletes on the Waldorf University football team, so that we can get them the things that they need to, again, like I said earlier, elevate the program. And Troy, you said you had some very, very pointed thoughts.
Well, I mean, like a lot of organizations, it started out as a party, I think even Ken Anderson had some success getting community members to show up on the north end of the football field and to start to come to games. And he was instrumental in getting the community night started. That was huge. He was the one that started that. It might have been. I think he was.
Yes, he was.
It could. Yeah. Okay. It wasn't Youngblood. So the community night was kind of the beginning of people in town coming out, and then it's like, oh, and by the way, you can tailgate over here. Well, that's always an incentive, so people would do that, and then they're like standing around and having beers, and they say, well, you know what we should do, and then there was a place for coaches to be able to go and say, hey, we do have some needs, and then it, like, yeah, we can get that together, and then it became organized, like Andy was talking about, and now what we're doing really well here at Waldorf, and I'm going to see that through as we continue to grow and develop and get more things for the players and make it more fun. It still is it can't lose its party roots because that tailgating area is where the action happens, and we're going to try to improve on that and let people. Obviously, we want people to have fun, and that's kind of a free for all. So we want to create a space for that that's builds on tradition that the players look forward to walking through, and all of that stuff.
And we'll probably need to name that the Yakel tailgate area. Because McCoy's mom and dad were really instrumental in getting this from ideas fledgling into full grown with wings and going all over the place. Yeah. Well, so we're going to wrap up the 15th edition of the Waldorf GridIron Podcast. I want to thank Coach Mike Gould and graduate assistant coach Kyle Stewart, lovingly referred to as Stu, or some people call him Stu Bot.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here, guys. Taking some time out of your afternoon after a busy day to begin with, coming out here, visiting with Troy and I. So for Troy Thompson and Andy Buffington, thank you for listening to the Waldorf GridIron Podcast. And, as always, go Warriors. You can join the Waldorf GridIron Club today by sending a check to the Waldorf GridIron Club, P.O. Box 125, Forest City, Iowa, 50436.
Or message us by visiting and like our Facebook page, Waldorf GridIron Club. Or email us at waldorfgridironclub@gmail.com.
Or it's as easy as clicking on the Support the Show link on your phone. Become a patron of the Gridiron Club by choosing to support the program monthly. $100 is the black membership at $9 a month.
The $250 level is purple at $25 a month.
$500 is the Warrior membership at $45 a month.
The all-conference level is $750 or $65 a month.
$1,000 is the All-American membership at $85 a month.
The champion level is $125 a month, and that's $1,500 a year.
$2,500 is the Hall of Fame membership.
The Waldorf GridIron Club podcast is hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson. Produced by Sunnyside Farmstead Studios in beautiful rural Forest City, Iowa. The music is by Christian Leo. The Waldorf GridIron Club is a non-profit 501c3 organization dedicated to football student-athletes of Waldorf University. Our mission is to assist the program in maintaining the best small college football experience in America.